Well, when I was in Texas, in a mental hospital, I'd been going from mental hospital to mental hospital. Um, I was kind of in a pinch. I didn't have any method to go about doing my own research because when you're hospitalized, you're really restricted access to electronic materials and things like that. So, fortunately, my sister was able to do some online research in California because she knew I was familiar with the territory. I'm from Tracy originally. And she did her research and said, hey, it's near beachfront property, you're going to get to do horse therapy, or also known as equine, and the people there are really, really talking good about this place. And when I first arrived, I could see that. I was welcomed with open arms. My housemates were very warm, wanted to know about me, how I was doing, where I'd come from, what I liked to do. And I found that we had a lot more in common than I thought we were going to have. My impression was, oh God, I'm going to a rehab. I'm going to be with a bunch of junkies that don't have their lives together. And I was completely incorrect. I found that people suffer from the same emotions as I do. They might come from a different place, but people are people. That's really opened my eyes here in the program, is that although we have differences, we're still human beings and people want to love each other. And there's a lot of love in this program. Well, when I first arrived, I got off a plane and a really cool driver met me, and we had conversations, and the topic was recovery, and specifically Alcoholics Anonymous. And I had the opportunity to share a lot of my old sponsorship experiences with the driver. I had been doing the rooms of AA on and off unsuccessfully for 6 years, and I've been through a lot of emotional pain, mental exhaustion, and just feeling like a failure, like nothing I could do would ever be any good. And the driver gave me hope. He said, you know what, you're here to recover no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, you're a person, and we really believe in recovery here at Sovereign. You're here to work your program and to get well, and we support you 1,000%. And that just brought tears to my eyes, because for once, I felt like I had a safe refuge, a place where I could go and not be persecuted or oppressed for who I am, since I have mental health issues. And I really just felt safe and secure, like I could rest at ease. The plane flight, I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of anxiety and I was pretty nervous about, where I was gonna end up, who my housemates were gonna be. But everybody was just so warm and welcoming and really wanted to know about me. And I just felt accepted, like I was in a family from day one. Cordoba was wonderful. More about the house. I got there, the rooms are large, spacious, there's 2 bunks in every room. You have the chance to get a roommate experience if you're not familiar with that. If you are, such as myself, it's actually very comfortable knowing that you can be instant roommates with somebody and you have a house manager there to ensure everybody's safe and happy and needs are met. Everything was clean, the bedding was turned down. It was nothing like a mental hospital. There was a lot of structure, which was kind of difficult to get used to at first, because nowadays everybody's used to having their electronics and stuff, and when you first get here, there's this thing called blackout phase. The first 7 days you don't get any electronics or anything besides the TV for a certain amount of time. But really all that's for is to teach you discipline, because as addicts and alcoholics or people with mental health issues, we really don't have a lot of structure in our life. That's what brought us to rehab in the first place. The staff was awesome. We have a guy named David P, and he's pretty cool. Really awesome background, understands a lot about spirituality, and I really bonded with him the first day because he came here on a weekend and we made blueberry pancakes together, and he was very particular about his cooking. Like, he did not want the cuisine to be altered in any way, and I myself enjoy cooking, so I would botch the recipe sometime by doing a step before he was ready, and he goes, no, we have to do it this way. And him and I grew and learned from each other. It wasn't just a growing experience for me. The house managers you grow with, The Davids, there's another David that's kind of took me under his wing, really helped me feel comfortable because he'd been through a lot of the same stuff that I've been through in my life, and really showed me that I don't need to be afraid of who I am. I just need to accept myself. The lady house managers are very gentle and understanding. They're always good at helping the guys cope. Okay, Bonanza, when I first showed up there, it's a newer house. Maintenance response is excellent. John's killer awesome with maintenance. He's there fixing all the problems as we speak. You can shower twice a day, whereas in most mental hospitals you get one a day if you're lucky, and there's dirty towels on the floor when you go in there. That's not the case. Bonanza is it's down in a valley. It's very beautiful. I would like to say I enjoyed all of them, but my background, I'm very strong in dialectical behavioral therapy, also known as DBTs, because I come from the Stockton area and that's really stressed there. I've been kind of forced out of that mold to let go of my old knowledge, and I'm kind of a know-it-all, so it's been a tough part of me to let go of that and really grasp concepts like cognitive behavioral therapy, which is one of the more tough forms of therapy to grasp, where it's about literally listening to your automatic thoughts and then labeling them for what they are and coming to terms with them. It's like positive self-talk. I really am starting to enjoy the CBT groups, and also process group is kind of where you come in and it's like, all right, what's been going on, how every normal day real life stuff, and you have to detach yourself from the house life and put it in perspective with your life outside of the program. So we really encourage to keep touch with things on the outside world. And it's interesting because it's like being inside of a greenhouse and just looking through the glass at the world outside and going, well, I can see this that I used to do and that I used to do, but now I'm not doing that anymore, and I feel healthier, better, more spiritual, or more grounded in touch with reality. There's another one that I really enjoy is the nutrition groups in art. Nutrition's awesome because if you don't come from a background where you don't cook for yourself a lot, and I'm lazy, I tend to be a fast food kind of guy. I'm getting in the habits of really learning self-care. Like when I'm out of here and I have a place of my own, I need to be able to manage my time and cook my own meals and prepare my lunches for work and stuff like that I never used to do. So I'm learning budgeting skills, saving, taking care of my health. I'm even working on quitting smoking. I bought one of those vaporizer things. They're pretty cool. And on the art side of things, my sister was always the better artist in the household, so I never really held myself to a standard that I was any good at it. But here I'm discovering that I'm actually a pretty decent painter and sketcher. I'm really learning to enjoy the finer arts, such as art in groups. If I run out of things to write, I just kind of jot poetry on the side, which is one of my passions. And it's just a really positive atmosphere, all walks of life, all ages. I tend to be one of the older guys. I'm going to be 29 in 11 days, and I feel like I'm 18 again. It's really great. I'm really having a zest for life. But we have a lot of veterans around here that really know their stuff. There's Lonnie, there's Charles, they're excellent group leaders. Donna specializes in CBT, and she's really good. Audrey, the other day, she had us playing instruments of her own that she brought from home so we could do group participation, and everybody got to trade turns and make music and keep the beat so we could learn leadership. I've really learned through equine to love myself first, and to really understand that when I do that, others are going to be more likely to follow my lead, because if I don't love myself, I'm going to be less certain of myself, more reactive and volatile, and just plain, most people, if they don't understand me, aren't going to want to be around me anymore. And I've noticed that in my life through addiction and my mental health issues, that I've pushed a lot of really awesome people away, and they love me, so I'm doing what I can to get them back in my life and get back on my feet. My therapist is Travis T, and he is an awesome guy. From day one, I came in here manic as hell, like my reality was distorted. I thought everything was perfect and I was just fine, and I'm here in rehab to have fun. Little did I know I had a lot of work to do, but Travis played along. he's like, oh, okay, and he just let me be myself. He didn't. Some therapists are like, no, you're manic right now, and you need to be not manic. He wasn't like that. Travis is just very understanding, very accepting, and just takes things from a state of being, not a state of judgment. And that's what I really enjoy about Travis, because he really knows how to empathize with people, especially people who've come from abusive backgrounds. So if you've come from a history of abuse, and whether you're eating disorders, mental health, or drug or dual diagnosis they call it, drug dependency, Travis accepts you wholeheartedly. He doesn't distinguish between one case and another. He's very excellent with confidentiality. I've had people, including myself, that have garbage on their plates, that got into a little bit of drama with another person in the program. Travis always keeps things under wraps and very confidential, and he's a no conflict kind of guy. So everybody else, I hear about them, they love their counselors too. It's you kind of established this like familial relationship with them. It feels like a brother or sister that you never had. So if you are an only child, you have a really good chance to bond with somebody that can be a life support forever if you choose that to be your permanent therapist and they have their private practice. So it's a really good place to plant some root stability and structure in your life, and the therapists just support it wholeheartedly. Expect to work hard and to get as much out of the program as you put into it. Don't come here thinking that this is going to be a cakewalk. Don't come here like me and think that you've got everything figured out, because I guarantee you, if you think you know something, you're going to find you don't know really anything at all. And for me, this was just a huge eye-opener. I come from a background where I was highly educated. I even lived the life of hard knocks, and I'm like, well, I've got the best of both worlds, so this is going to be a cakewalk. And I found that what the staff does is they calibrate you to where you're at, and they say, okay, you're here, but you're obviously using drugs and have mental health issues for a reason. So while you're here and Bob or Cindy's down here, we're going to get Bob and Cindy to your point and get you to this point, and hopefully Bob and Cindy are willing to raise to the same level, and we're going to get everybody to the apex. That's the goal. And I've just really seen so much growth, not just in myself, but in my brothers and sisters here. I see a reflection of me now, like a connection with love. That I came from a place in my life where I was severely abused, and even though I was rescued by CPS and my grandparents raised me, and no matter how much love they gave me, I didn't believe I was capable of loving myself, and I basically tried to kill myself by overdosing on drugs. And I'm realizing now that I had a purpose. I'm lucky to be alive, and I'm never going to do that again. Life's too precious. Here you see beauty. You go on beach walks, see the ocean, go out and talk with people, walk with people, take photos of scenery if you're into photography within certain limitations, because there's a lot to be aware of. But this is, if I had one word to describe this place, I would say growth. That would be it. I've been here for 6 weeks now, and if you'd have spoken with me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you I hated this place. It took me a month just to come to the realization that I'm not as perfect as I think I am. So don't expect to come here like, oh, Kameron said it's going to be awesome and it's going to be wonderful right off the bat. You're going to have growing pains just like everybody else in the world. We're humans, we adapt, but depending on how you're geared and wired, it could happen right off the bat and you could just be cozy. Or I've seen people sometimes take all up to their 80th day to finally really grasp what's going on in the last 10 days. They're just like, it's a eureka, I've got it all. And everybody's successful. There's not one person that leaves this program disappointed unless they leave of their own accord. I haven't seen anybody get discharged because they weren't good enough. Sovereign's very accepting and just loving, because a lot of the staff, like I said, they've been there. And they know that if they were in the same situation, they wouldn't want to be turned loose into the world, because the world can be a mean place. And here, they toughen you up, and and really teach you to put on your armor, your spiritual armor, if you will. I believe in Jesus and God, so I call it the armor of God. But whatever your spiritual practice is, Zen, meditation, yoga, gym, working out, swimming, cooking, even experiential activities. We get to go places like Boomers and go bowling and stuff like that, or go, we haven't done it yet, but I've seen rock climbing, go to the movie theaters, go to the arcades and stuff like that. You just have a lot of fun. So expect a good time, and it might not happen right away, but when it does, you're going to be thanking yourself that you came here.